Astrological forecast for 2026 for Libra individuals. The star of luck, which for your sign began to form during 2025, started to form timidly, selectively, cautiously. During 2026, it forms a complete and long-lasting configuration that will favorably influence your sign with the help of luck and elements of fortune. This configuration of luck will be formed primarily by influential planets such as Pluto and Uranus. This can manifest in the form of unexpected events when you did not even think that you could achieve success in this direction, or did not even imagine that circumstances could align so favorably. Success is expected primarily in various social projects, whether collective activities or individual ones that you do not hide but present to society. Yes, this requires courage. And this could be anything, such as organizing your own blog with information on child care, or setting up your own Telegram channel on a specialized topic, or joining a dance group. It does not necessarily have to be related to creativity. It can also be related to your work or professional activity when you organize or create something based on your own inspiration. Here it is important to pay attention to two main points. The first is that you should not be afraid to appear in public, to talk about yourself, to be in the spotlight. The second point is that you should not try to achieve success through your children. The success that they achieve is their own, and you need your own. For convenience, let us divide the forecast by life spheres, directions, and later by months of 2026. The first sphere is self-realization. In 2026, the star of luck unfolds fully for your sign. This can manifest as unexpected offers or opportunities. For example, an invitation to a competition in your profession, or a job offer related to your specialty, a proposal that requires relocation or learning a new language, or something new for you. If your child is a Libra and you are looking at the horoscope for them, during 2026, they may have a sudden desire to change the direction of their studies, or undergo an internship in their specialty far from home, away from you, or together with like-minded peers organize a social project. This is normal, wonderful, and represents their path of luck. In general, the transit of Jupiter through your 11th house, the house of society, and with the entry of the southern karmic lunar node into the same sector, indicates that whatever you do, you will find your audience, find those who are interested in and value your services, products, or information. Since your sector of social success falls into the sign of Leo, which is the symbol of the sun, it is important that whatever you do, it should be bright, beautiful, bold, and confident. This could be organizing personalized tour to places you know well, maintaining your own blog where you talk about your profession or achievements, or a Telegram channel where you write on a topic interesting to a specific group of people. Again, it is important to engage with society, speak about yourself, explain, persuade, offer services, or advertise. Also, due to Uranus transit through your 9th house, completely unexpected new paths may open for you. This may be related to learning, teaching, work, or travel. Uranus in the 9th house teaches the experience of not being attached to any one worldview. Things may be as you see them, or they may be completely different. A world of entirely different rules and values may open before you, a world with a completely different organization of life. We begin to understand that not everything has to be as we are used to or as we think is correct. Everything can be completely different and no less wonderful. Throughout this year, you will seemingly discover new, hidden facets of the world. The next sphere is finances. The sector of your finances, personal income, and assets will be influenced by Jupiter's aspect of luck. This is a period when, by feeling, money will come easier, more abundantly, or there will be fewer worries on this matter. There will be a general sense of growth, creating optimism regarding financial issues. Additionally, in the first half of the year, a certain channel of energy outflow, a source of constant expenses, may close, removing the feeling that money comes but slips away through your fingers. In the second half, generous Jupiter transitions to your 11th astrofield, the house of results, including financial results. Here, additional opportunities related to earning income may arise, not as something new, but as a result of what you are already doing. There may be bonuses, extra work opportunities in your profession, or gifts. A period may involve large expenses, but these will feel like investments in your future, such as investing in your own business or education. Even paying for a trip can be considered an investment, a chance for mental, physical, and psychological reset, after which active new beginnings typically occur in life. During the retrograde of Venus, which governs your sign and symbolizes earthly and material benefits, from your financial sector back to your own sign, this is a time of reformatting your financial programs and relationship with money. Income levels may change. You can raise the topic of your salary with your employer, discuss bonus systems, or financial rewards for exceptional work. This will only work in your favor if you are convinced that you deserve more, as usually our self-esteem level corresponds to how others, including employers, evaluate us. If you have firm belief that you are worthy of more and you communicate it, you will receive what you expect. The next sphere is personal life. Planetary influence on this sector is unstable and contradictory. Saturn, our karmic manager, in the sector symbolizing partnership for your sign, demands serious approach and mutual responsibility. Saturn requires understanding that if entering relationships, it is for a long time or even forever. Saturn's task is to build relationships with serious intentions or not at all. At the same time, Neptune in your partnership sector creates a soul-level need for a partner with complete harmony and mutual understanding. Pluto in your 5th house, symbolizing emotions, and the entry of the northern karmic lunar node forms a need for intense feelings and passion. Jupiter in your 11th astrofield gives you attention from potential partners. Uranus in your 9th house opens opportunities for unexpected encounters or acquaintances that can change everything. For your sign, the main need in relationships is honesty and sincerity. Any perceived falsity, even minor, can create distance, subtly cooling relations. The second need to burn brightly may manifest, introducing someone who awakens this flame. For those in stable relationships, 2026 brings a new joint task or long-term plan, strengthening awareness of being together. For uncertain relationships, decisions may solidify, possibly related to continuing the family line, abandoning illusions, accepting the partner as they are, forgiving, and restoring relations. The next sphere is children. Pluto in your 5th house and the northern karmic lunar node indicate possibilities for childbirth or pregnancy in 2026. This may strongly influence your life and plans. Some may have intense desire for a child, possibly medical hormonal therapy increasing conception probability. For those planning children, best wishes for a healthy birth. These factors may also indicate preoccupation with children, with thoughts and plans revolving around this. For those with existing children, relationships may change, moving toward a freer, more friendly dynamic. For older children, they may start earning their first money, and children's interests and plans may influence your decisions. Surprises and achievements regarding children may pleasantly affect you. The next sphere is work and career. In 2026, 3 astrological factors influence this sector, all favorable. Jupiter in your 10th house until mid-year symbolizes authority, status, and achievements, often indicating promotion or expanded responsibilities. It may indicate larger teams or expanding your own business. This may require learning organizational skills. Uranus in your 9th house may create strong desire to change work or career direction, especially if current position lacks growth opportunities. This is a time to seek new directions, possibly requiring new skills, rather than switching to a similar job. For business owners, opportunities for development, hearing, location changes, or launching new product services will be favorable, though not necessarily easy. The next sphere is health. The northern karmic lunar node in your 6th house, in the sign of Pisces, symbolizes hidden illnesses, viruses, or conditions with unclear symptoms, making diagnosis difficult. Efforts should focus on strengthening immunity, preventive measures, and proper rest. Hospitals, rest, and sleep are emphasized. Sleep deprivation lowers defenses and affects energy levels. Transit of the node increases interest in a healthy lifestyle, nutrition, and sports, particularly swimming. Water activities are highly beneficial for your sign. This period is also characterized by the fact that you may literally feel physically, if someone is speaking badly about you behind your back or plotting something against you. You may perceive this as a brief change in the temperature of your body. That is, you may feel a slight heat, as if your body is resisting something that you do not see, do not notice, something that is not obvious. In fact, this is exactly how you may feel that someone is plotting against you behind your back or simply speaking ill of you. The next area is home and real estate. There is no direct astrological influence on this sector of your horoscope during this period, but there is an indirect influence. The planet Jupiter, which expands, provides opportunities, and increases our authority, will create tension in relation to your house, property, and possessions. This often generates a desire or need to increase your assets, essentially increasing your social authority through what you own, such as moving to a more prestigious home, residential complex, neighborhood, or city. There may be a need to manage existing property, such as a flat, house, land, or summer residence that you do not use. For example, selling a summer house that has not been visited for a long time, conducting major repairs in an old building, or selling property purchased as an investment. There may be nuances related to documents, accounts, and ownership rights, and you may need to correct errors or reissue certain documents. At the same time, the North Karmic Lunar Node, the node of the future, remains in your 6th house, the house of daily duties. This node is associated with a heavy workload in everyday tasks and responsibilities. For some, this may be a period of home renovations or reorganizing family affairs, such as managing household duties. There may be more than usual responsibility for acquiring furniture or installing appliances, and an increased focus on household tasks, essentially addressing disorder and establishing order. For your zodiac sign, order is crucial, both at home and at work. A structured system and sequence positively affect your overall efficiency and health. Some may acquire their own property during this period, partially from savings and partially through a short-term installment plan, for example, during the construction of a house. Jupiter's influence in your 10th astrological sector forms a desire to increase your social weight and authority through the expansion of possessions. Looking briefly at the year month by month, the first full moon occurs in your 10th house, which represents status, career position, and achievements. With this sector in the sign of Cancer, which symbolizes home and family, a sense of family and domestic harmony becomes a central theme. This period may bring changes in your responsibilities or duties. Some may experience changes in work, while others begin new roles at this time. There may be pride in the achievements of family members, or a clear goal to create a family or acquire property. The new moon occurs in your 4th house, symbolizing home, family, and domestic affairs. This new moon initiates new domestic or family projects, such as programs related to children, household organization, home renovations, relocations, or managing ownership documents and payments. If you rent property, this may affect rent amounts or tenants, introducing new plans or arrangements. Neptune moves into your 7th astrological sector, influencing relationships and partnerships. Neptune blurs the perception of how relationships should be formed, highlighting what is true and creating a strong need for a partner with whom you feel a soul-level connection. This may apply to romantic relationships or friendships, creating the sense of unity and closeness. An important event occurs with the conjunction of Mars and Pluto in your 5th house, which governs matters of the heart, children, and creativity. This conjunction marks the start of a 2-year cycle, representing the areas of life where maximum energy and focus will be directed. This sector embodies love, passion, children, creative endeavors, and anything that gives you a sense of inspiration or uplift. Choosing how to direct energy in this area will define your focus and development for the next 2 years. In February, a full moon occurs in your 11th house, the house of social realization and results. This period can bring bright events, meetings with interesting people, recognition, and social success. It may also reflect results in long-term activities that had not been previously recognized, as well as attention or bonuses for work or ongoing projects. Saturn enters your 7th house, the sector of partnerships, bringing additional responsibility in relationships. This includes personal, friendly, and professional partnerships, making this a favorable period for long-term contracts, though fulfilling their terms may be challenging. This may involve important decisions in personal life or commitments at work, and collaboration with certain clients on long-term agreements. A solar eclipse occurs in your 5th house, marking the first eclipse of the year and the beginning of a new eclipse cycle. This event highlights areas related to children, personal life, hobbies, and creative expression. It invites reflection on whether your life choices are truly guided by your heart and whether you are following your passions. This eclipse initiates new themes that will later transform into concrete events. A significant conjunction of Saturn and Neptune occurs in your 7th house, a transformative event indicating new opportunities and revolutionary changes in partnerships, collaboration, and even broader contexts such as medicine or technology. A lunar eclipse occurs in your 12th house, symbolizing the past, secrets, and hidden matters. This period may prompt you to resolve unfinished issues, separate the past from the future, and conclude obligations or burdens previously weighing on you. This eclipse brings a sense of liberation from past mistakes, regrets, or guilt. A new moon occurs in your 6th house, governing daily routines, work conditions, and personal well-being. This period initiates new structures in home responsibilities, work routines, and possibly introduces new colleagues, schedules, or systems. Health and wellness are also emphasized, inviting new habits such as exercise, improved sleep patterns, and energy practices. Learning to relax is critical, as tension is likely during this time. A full moon occurs in your 1st house, your personal sign, highlighting core themes of self-identity, appearance, personal achievements, and life events. This period may bring significant realizations, changes, or culminations affecting work, personal life, and external image. A stellium of planets in your 7th house emphasizes partnerships and their influence on your personal plans, requiring negotiation and adaptation. A new moon in your 7th house indicates new agreements, plans, and potential new partnerships. This may include personal relationships or business client engagement, as well as activities connected to children. Uranus changes signs and moves into your 9th house, representing new experiences in education, professional development, travel, international collaboration, and personal growth. This transit brings unexpected opportunities, potentially including foreign work, study, or family experiences. It may even introduce roles such as grandparenting or responsibilities connected to long-distance travel or learning. Uranus brings experiences that initially feel unprepared for but ultimately serve as a fresh, beneficial influence, promoting personal development and expansion. May is a very important month, a month of 2 full moons. On May 1st, a full moon occurs in the sign of Scorpio, in your 2nd house of the horoscope. A full moon is completion, it is clarity, and the 2nd house is the sector of our finances and resources, as well as our self-esteem. This full moon will bring clarity and understanding regarding the level of income you can expect in the coming months. An important financial matter for you may be resolved here, which may concern your income or your savings. On May 16th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Taurus in your 8th house of the horoscope. A new moon is the birth of new energy. The 8th house is the sector of shared and joint property, shared resources. The new moon brings something new here. This is a new way of settling accounts with other people, organizations, or the state. This may become a period when you deal with an issue related to your car insurance policy or medical insurance policy. There may be changes in the income level of your partner in your personal life. Also, in general, you may resolve issues related to your financial interactions with other people and organizations. Questions related to taxes, alimony, social payments, and your financial obligations may be addressed here. May 22nd is a very important day, which is worth marking in your calendar. On May 22nd, the first conjunction of the Sun and Uranus occurs in a new sign in the 9th astrological sector of your horoscope. This is an important point that shows each of us the choice of our strategy for the next 7 years. The choice of a strategy that will allow certain, let's say, reforms to take place in your life. This energy is born in any case, whether we want changes or not. And here it is important to independently set the vector of this energy. That is, to choose for yourself the work, the direction, through which your life, your reality will transform, through which something progressive and new will come into your life. And it is really important to do this independently, to set a goal or task that may seem too revolutionary or unusual for you. Nevertheless, if we do not set the vector of this energy ourselves, then circumstances may develop in a much more unpredictable way for us. Although, in principle, everything concerning Uranus is always unpredictable, but it is important at least to try to set a task that will, so to speak, obey this energy. On May 26th, we will be influenced by a tense aspect, a square between Mars and Pluto. Essentially, this is the first and one of the most tense astrological aspects of 2026. The square between Mars and Pluto, between two planets of strength, energy, power, and influence, shows that this day, plus or minus a few days, may be much more tense than other times. Therefore, during this period, May 26th, plus or minus a few days, it is not advisable to plan to resolve any important matters, as everything may develop much more tensely, emotionally, and intensively than at another time. On May 31st, a full moon occurs in the sign of Sagittarius. In your third house of the horoscope, the full moon completes a task, closes a road for you that is no longer relevant. That is, this is a moment when a task you have been involved with or thinking about a lot is now resolved, completed, or simply loses its relevance. This full moon gives the results of our reflections. Also, an important purchase or an important conversation with a person on whom your affairs depend may take place here. This may also become a period of decision regarding your travel. Someone may buy tickets at this time or only choose a direction for a future trip. This is a moment of culmination of our reflections or certain actions. You may also acquire a new means of communication or transportation at this time. On June 15th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Gemini in your ninth house of the horoscope. This new moon is optimistic for you, when new interests appear, when you seem to see something beyond the horizon, since the ninth house shows us everything that is far from us, far territorially or in time. Now you may have new distant prospects and a longer planning horizon. There may be an opportunity to travel somewhere or learn something new, interact with new people. In general, this is a new moon of optimism, when you feel that a long but very interesting path lies ahead, whatever it concerns. This new moon may also relate to issues of education, teaching, travel, or resolving some bureaucratic matter. On June 20th, a rather important astrological event occurs. On this day, the planet Uranus, the planet of the future, will be in tense aspects relative to the karmic lunar nodes. This is called Uranus in the nodes. This is an important moment when we decide whether we will go into the future, whether we have enough courage to follow the path that leads us into the future. What are we willing to do for this thrilling sense of freedom in our lives? Freedom from routine, from everyday life, from certain patterns and prejudices. Do we have enough freedom to live, not just survive? On June 29th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Capricorn in your fourth house of the horoscope. The full moon is completion, clarity, and the fourth house symbolizes our place of residence, our real estate, property, and also family affairs. This full moon completes a task. For example, there may be a family trip, an important family decision may be made, or some intra-family event may occur. Questions related to your place of residence may also be resolved. You may receive documents, make certain payments, or reissue certain accounts. Also, this is a time when you can complete the process of renovating your home or some rearrangement or major purchases for your home. On June 30th, the most generous planet of the solar system, Jupiter, changes signs and moves into the sign of Leo, into your 11th house of the horoscope. This is a very favorable transit of Jupiter for you, which will last a whole year. This Jupiter transit promises you success in social circles, opportunities through social connections. You may be invited somewhere more often than usual. You can develop projects related to implementation via the internet or social networks. This is a time when interesting, bright people will appear in your circle of communication, people you want to emulate, or, if not emulate, at least achieve the same success these people have reached. This is indeed a very favorable transit of Jupiter for you, which will give you new opportunities and very positive results in your affairs. We will discuss this transit in more detail in a separate video. On July 14th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Cancer in your 10th house of the horoscope. The new moon is the birth of new energy, new stories, new events. The 10th house is the house of your status, career, reputation, and social and career position. This is a time when an important conversation with your boss, manager, or someone who influences your position may occur. For someone, this may become a period of decisions in personal life, such as marriage. For someone, this may become the period of a child's birth, which also changes our status. In general, this time brings something new that defines and emphasizes your status and position. For some, it may be a major purchase, which also changes status, making us owners of something. There may also be meetings with parents if you live far from each other. On July 29th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Aquarius in your 5th house of the horoscope. This full moon closes a topic that became relevant for you around mid-February 2026. It may concern your children. There may be the completion of a process or project you were working on with your child, or an important event related to your children's affairs. The energy of this full moon gives you the opportunity to make a choice guided by the voice of your heart, as the 5th house is the house of our heart, and everything we choose based on this voice. Therefore, an important decision related to travel may occur here. Usually, we choose our travel destination, vacation, according to the call of our heart. For some, this may become a period of an important decision in personal life, and for others, a time to complete work on a creative project. This may be related to your hobby or your work. A festive event you have long prepared for may also take place at this time. On August 12th, a new moon, more precisely a solar eclipse, occurs in the sign of Leo in your 11th house of the horoscope. This is the first eclipse in this sector, and it brings a new theme to the surface for you, the theme of your bright social life. This is a time that for some will bring a bright event or activity to which you will be invited. For some, it will be a trip with friends, and for others, it will be the beginning of a new path of realizing your ideas. In general, this new moon for you is a very bright moment, which gives you the opportunity to feel bright, significant, and popular. This period also brings results, as the 11th house is the house of results, recognition. Therefore, during this period, you will receive results you may not have even expected. This is also a very favorable moment for those seeking in personal life. An encounter you have long awaited may occur in your life. On August 18th, the axis of the karmic lunar nodes changes signs, and for the next 1.5 years, it will occupy the position of your 5th and 11th houses. This indicates that the main direction for your realization is the sphere of creativity and children. This is the sphere of love and everything we choose guided by the voice of our heart. Of course, we will discuss this karmic lunar nodes transit in more detail in a separate video. On August 28th, a full moon, more precisely a lunar eclipse, occurs in the sign of Pisces in your 6th house of the horoscope. This eclipse closes a topic related to everyday routine matters. For some, this will bring changes related to your place of residence, a move, renovation, or rearrangement of your home. For some, changes in how your household is organized or how family responsibilities are distributed may occur. This full moon, this lunar eclipse, may also affect your work. For some, it may be a time to change jobs. For others, a period when you take maternity leave or just a vacation to change your environment. Changes may also occur in the structure of your work itself. New colleagues, some colleagues may leave or relocate, and the rules by which your company operates may change. On September 11th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Virgo in your 12th house of the horoscope. A new moon is the birth of new energy, and the 12th house is the house of the past, the house of secrets. This is a time when you return to a task you put on pause in order to organize it and complete the process. This period brings back reflections from the past. You may also help someone else with organizational matters during this new moon. On September 26th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Aries in your 7th house of the horoscope. A full moon is completion, culmination, clarity, and the 7th house is the sector of partnership relations. This is a period when there will be clarity in how you build relationships with a certain person or certain people. This time will bring the completion of a joint plan, project, or task that you resolved with your partners. Significant events may occur in the affairs of key partners. This is also a time when you may complete work with certain clients or have a joint event with close friends. This is also a time of clarity in personal life matters. On October 3rd, one of the most tense aspects of this year will form in the sky. This is the opposition between Mars and Pluto. Both these planets symbolize battle, confrontation, struggle, and the tense aspect between these planets will affect your 5th and 11th astrological sectors. Here there may be some confrontation between you and a group of people, or between you and a person who is also interested in the result you are striving for. On this day, October 3rd, and plus or minus a few days, it is better not to plan any important events or activities. This is a time when everything may develop much more tensely and conflictually than in other periods. Moreover, on October 3rd, Venus, which is the ruler of your sign, goes retrograde, which will last until November 14th. Venus retrograde will affect your 2nd and 1st astrological sectors. The 2nd house is the sector of your income, your assets, and the 1st house is the sector of yourself, your personality. The period of Venus retrograde is a time when financial plans in your affairs may change, the cost of your services may change, or you may change jobs. In general, this is a time to think about how your self-esteem affects your income. This is a time when you begin to value yourself more. However, during Venus retrograde, it is advisable to refrain from purchasing non-essential items, luxury or beauty items, as later you may not like them or consider the purchase unprofitable. On October 10th, a new moon occurs in your sign. This is your personal new year, the beginning of your annual cycle, regardless of your exact birth date. During this day, it is worth taking time to think about yourself, your plans, what you want for yourself, not for other people, even close ones, not for the surrounding world, but what you want for yourself. This time is only yours. It is worth thinking about your plans for the year ahead, as on this day you receive energy in abundance, energy for a whole year until the next new moon in your sign. On October 26th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Taurus in your 8th house of the horoscope. A full moon is completion, culmination, clarity, and the 8th house is the sector of shared and joint finances, shared resources. This sector also symbolizes our financial settlements with other people, organizations, and the state. This is a time when you may resolve financial matters, visit the bank, or visit the tax office. This period may resolve questions related to your investments or receiving passive income. Changes may also occur in how you receive certain payments. On November 9th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Scorpio in your 2nd house of the horoscope. A new moon is the birth of new energy, new plans, new stories. The 2nd house is the sector of your income, resources, and assets. This new moon brings something new plans related to work, new desires related to acquiring something. This may involve opening a card in a new bank or an account in another bank. There will be changes in how you receive your money, your income. This is also a period when you may plan a major purchase for the future and start saving money. On November 16th, a very rare and interesting astrological event occurs. This is the conjunction of Jupiter with the south node of the moon in your 11th house of the horoscope. These planets have diametrically opposed influences. Jupiter expands, while the south node of the moon narrows opportunities. The conjunction of these planets in your 11th astrological sector indicates a moment of realizing an already existing program. This is some bright event which may be related to personal life, your work, or your hobby, your passion. This is a moment of receiving the results you deserve, whatever form it takes. On November 24th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Gemini in your 9th house of the horoscope. This full moon closes a topic you have been working on for a long time. This may be related to your studies, obtaining certain documents, or resolving a legal or bureaucratic issue. There may also be some clarity regarding the personal life of your adult child. The energy of this full moon gives you clarity regarding where to go next, what to do, what to strive for. This full moon gives you the opportunity to look beyond the usual world, learn something new, understand something new for yourself, and set new goals for moving forward. From November 25th until the end of the year, the planet Mars, the source of strength, energy, and action, will be located in your 12th house of the horoscope. This is the house of completion, the house of the past, the house of that which is hidden, that which is not on the surface. And this period, from November 25th until the end of the year, is a time when it is not advisable to be overly active externally, in the outer world, because the energy of Mars here goes inward, toward resolving our personal matters, for some preparatory processes, for organizing our affairs. This is not a time for active beginnings. This is a period when it is worth giving yourself more rest, taking more care of yourself, and allowing yourself periods when you simply contemplate the world rather than actively influence it. December. On December 9th, a new moon occurs in the sign of Sagittarius in your 3rd house of the horoscope. This new moon brings up some new and interesting task or topic for reflection for you. It is also a time when you may begin walking or traveling along a new path. A new issue may arise, which you will think about, reflect on, and discuss for quite some time. This is also a time when you may deal with the process of repairing your car or purchasing one. This is a period when you can plan a trip that will take place slightly later. That is, this is a time when you will be searching for information, finding it, finding exactly what you need, what corresponds to your current plans. It is also a time when you may meet more than usual with your friends or discuss a certain topic. This period allows you to take care of paperwork necessary for your trip. For example, booking a hotel for yourself, looking for tickets, or discussing this matter with your partners, with the people with whom you are planning the trip. Also, this is a period when you may begin the process of preparing some documents. On December 24th, a full moon occurs in the sign of Cancer in your 10th house of the horoscope. This is a cozy full moon for you, despite the fact that it occurs in a tense aspect relative to your sign. Here, on the one hand, you will be summarizing many of the results of what you managed to achieve throughout this year. On the other hand, the main theme here will be family and place of residence. This full moon brings results. That is, it may be a time when an important event occurs in matters related to your relatives or intra-family relationships. For someone, an issue related to real estate and your place of residence may be resolved, or payments for your property or documents confirming your ownership. This is a time when you may gather your entire family together, when some joint family event may take place. Of course, each month of 2026 and each important astrological event will be discussed separately and in detail so that we can best take advantage of the opportunities that the stars and planets provide. It is also to avoid mistakes and losses during periods when astrological influence is tense. In general, in 2026, for your sign, there will be clearly expressed periods of tension and relaxation, periods of maximum concentration of your efforts on resolving certain matters, and stages when you will allow yourself simply to go with the flow. The influence of the astrological star of luck in relation to your sign throughout 2026 will be much more pronounced and manifested in concrete practical events than it was in 2025. The main thing here is not to fixate on a single specific topic, but to determine the direction of the favorable wind at any given moment. At the same time, Uranus in the 9th house of your horoscope will guide you toward new, unknown realities, both in matters related to career and education, as well as in matters related to travel. 2026, in general, is a very bright period for you. Only in the period concluding this year, from November 25th until the end of 2026, it is better to conserve your energy, reduce external activity, and summarize results. I wish you multifaceted and diverse success in 2026, which will increase your self-esteem, your sense of confidence in yourself and your abilities, as well as enhance your sense of comfort in the surrounding world and strengthen your love for life in general.